Hi. Hi. Do you need a little poetry today? It's January 2nd, 2021. We're in 2021 now, and things are looking up. I hope. I'm Sarah Venart, and I thought I'd read you a couple of poems. And then if you want to, you can hop on to Twitter or Facebook or Instagram and ask me questions about them if you feel like it, because I love to have a dialogue about poetry. And this is kind of the perfect time to do that because we can't go out to poetry readings at the moment. So all we can do is dress up from the waist up, because trust me, from the waist down, I am wearing pajama pants. And yeah, listen to poetry and have a conversation about it. I've had some really great conversations by going to poetry book clubs recently and talking to poets in Toronto, in the Maritimes. I haven't had any from the West Coast yet, but I look forward to that. And it's really great to talk to particularly young poets who are up and coming in the Canadian poetry scene, and I just feel really energized by their voices and their kind of new confessional poetry, and I'm just really excited about everything that they're expressing. So I thought I would read two poems from the second part of my collection, I Am the Big Heart, which came out from Brick Books in November, so it's pretty brand new. And the second part of the collection is, it's called Still Full of Arrows. Still Full of Arrows. And it's got poems that are maybe a little bit bitier. Maybe they're speaking about how the heart is not always full of love, but is also a container for all kinds of emotions. Bitterness, a little bit, confusion, mixed emotions, contradictions. So I thought I would read two poems from this section where I think the heart is kind of trying to sort some things out that she's, because it is a she, the heart is definitely female, where she's trying to sort some things out. So the first one is called Octopus Laser, and it is definitely a confession. It's a confession about stealing something from someone who had some kind of power over the speaker. Octopus Laser. And if you're wondering what an octopus laser is, it's simply a little pointing laser that people use when they're teaching, to point to things on the board or to emphasize things. And sometimes these pointers also have little shape attachments so that when you click on them, they actually show a little heart, or in this case, an octopus. Octopus Laser. At the time of my crime, I was a lover who professed to love you even as I stole from you. You were a lover who was often flexing in the mirror. When you left for a lab where you studied the body, I had all day to walk around the unpacked boxes of your neighborhood. I ate cans of your tuna in water to keep my figure and rifled through your desk. In one drawer, I found a laser pointer with a button hidden in its sleek side. When I clicked, a red octopus appeared on your bedroom wall. I stole it. This is the easy part, to admit this long after you've forgotten me. I slipped your laser in my bra cup. Without underwear, I pulled on my shorts. I walked around the block thinking, the lover who leaves you too long alone, the lover who buys only tuna, and me, the lover who loses weight so suddenly she doesn't recognize herself, Who is that philosopher with the atoms, with the cheese, the one who cut squares into tinier squares until he could no longer see what he was cutting? Never mind. If I left in 5 minutes, I could make the train. Manhattan, Poughkeepsie, Hudson, Montreal, where people spoke a new language and didn't know that I held in my pocket the piece of you that proved I'd been to the big leagues once. Leaned from those porch railings, waiting for the lover who never came home. I wanted you to call. I wanted the packing boxes, tuna stink, your sex on that dirty bed. Me and the thing you'd owned spent months like this, wanting and pushing the sleek button to bring the octopus swimming across my bathroom wall, across the lip of the tub to my thighs. Who is the philosopher who couldn't see the atom and named the problem not him, but the thing he was cutting? I held the octopus in its secret place until it went into a drawer. Even now, when I open that drawer, I see you. Useless with your old batteries, still mine. It's pristine, this thought. Even as my skin sheds, the past rewords itself. My atoms double and double. If you're wondering who that philosopher is, it's Democritus. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not very good with the Latin. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, actually. It's probably Democritus. Democritus. Yeah, it's one of my shortcomings. There are many. But he was a pre-Socratic, I think, a philosopher, known for formulating part of the atomic theory. I sounded kind of intelligent there. But yeah, I had to look that up, just so you know, when I was writing the poem. Hashtag poets don't know everything, but we love to learn. Okay, the second poem I'm going to read is called Stun Guns. Is there anything you need to know? Maybe you might need to know that at Mount Allison University, where I did my undergrad, there was a residence there called the Monastery. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that. So this is a poem called Stun Guns, and I'm still not really sure why I called this poem Stun Guns. It just seemed to work. And this poem actually came really fast. I thought about it, and I was like trying to figure out how I was going to put these pieces of it together. And then the poem actually, I think I only wrote 3 drafts of it, which for me is amazing because usually I write, I don't know how many drafts of my work, like 20, 30. I revise and revise. I probably revise too much. But anyways, Stun Guns came, boom, plop, right on the page. And I didn't change the form very much at all, which I think speaks to the emotion behind it. Stun Guns. I don't know if the pigeon was stunned from hitting the patio door or from her torn open breast, but while my husband held her wings, I saved her by crossing twine around her throat and tightening until her lavender lids met, her black keratin beak parting. Sometimes I am hungry suddenly, and I don't know how you stop yourself, but I can't, and I eat the butter and the bread, I eat the olives like popcorn, and my body won't keep much of it, but it keeps enough so that I'm not the one you look at anymore. But who thinks their body is the one you look at until it is the one? Or who thinks their body is the one to be used until it is? You placed my hand under your bed covers and told me I made you like this. I did this to you when I only walked into your room looking for my beer. I think of my own daughter, picking up our cat after it died, carrying its tortoise fur body into the kitchen to ask what was wrong. I told her the cat was gone. She'll never stop crying in my head. The cat is gone, the pigeon is gone, but that girl who opened her throat to your beer funnel at your so-called monastery, she's here with all your butter. So if you're looking for those poems in the collection, I Am the Big Heart, they are the last 2 pages of the second section. And I hope you buy the book and support small presses in Canada, and support my poetry and poetry in general, especially poetry of confessionalism, which I have decided this year I'm going to rave about and be proud about, because the poetics of the home and the poetics of confession have a place in poetry in general, and I think they have in the past gotten a bad rap, and I'll be writing about that in the coming weeks and months, and please join me in celebrating imperfection, making mistakes in recordings and just continuing on, and confession about those imperfections, and have I said enough? Thank you, Rob, for giving me this opportunity to share my work in your journal. Have a great day, everybody.